And welcome back. Welcome back to Shut It. You know why you're here. The world has gone mad. We're here to focus on dumb news to get us through the day. Because we can't watch all the crazy real lifetime news. We gotta focus on dumb. And I got a great one for you today. Are you ready for it? Oh, this old tattered moth-eaten thing? So-called thrashed clothes, garments resembling something closer to rags, are coveted by vintage fanatics. That's right. I'm going to put pictures up, and you're not going to believe this. This is a true article in the New York Times. End of days, people. When Abe Lang lived in the East Village of Manhattan, he would sometimes take his breakfast in Tompkins Square Park wearing his favorite zip-up hoodie. You might say it had seen better days. The black jersey had faded, a charcoal ombre. How do you say that word? Ombre? How do you say that? O-M-B-R-E. It's ombre. How do you say it?
Ombre.
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 Okay, we learned a word today, and it means dark. Anyway, let's finish the article. So this black jersey had faded to a charcoal ombre, and large portions of the front sleeves had worn away, revealing the inner thermal lining. On more than one occasion, a kind passerby in the park tried to hand Mr. Lang some spare change. This hoodie was so decrepit looking, Mr. Lang, 27, recalled, adding that his groggy morning appearance probably didn't help matters. He has since retired the hoodie. The tattered garment is, however, wait for it, available to designers and stylists for a rental. That's right. His prices start at about $125 for 3 days. Not kidding. Roughly a quarter of what Mr. Lang estimates is his real value. He's renting it out. All right. So there's a store in Brooklyn that he owns that I can't say because it's a curse word, which I'm glad it is because it should be a curse word because it's so ridiculous. He's been running this store since 2019, and it's full of torn, moth-eaten clothing, which he affectionately, or people call it, thrashed. And the look has become ubiquitous enough, even in recent years, that celebrities like Jeremy Allen White, whoever that is, I have no idea, and Channing Tatum have been spotted wearing ultra-faded T-shirts and outerwear as part of their off-duty style. That's right. So to some, these pieces may look like old rags. Others, though, see garments with history and character that stand out from the flatness of cheap, fast fashion and luxury brands. Okay. People want the row. They want Hermes, everything perfect, said Alden Borthwick, a 20-year-old film student in New York, NYU, whose closet includes several threadbare items. There's something about having a piece of clothing that somebody else wore and loved so much that it's fallen apart, then fixed it up, and then they continue to wear it. That's an affirmation that a piece of clothing is just great and that you're a trust fund kid. What? Anyway, Gabriel Lyons Loeb, who runs a small design firm in Manhattan, is of the view that clothes gain a certain depth with more wear. The variation and heterogeneity in a piece of thrashed clothing, he said, is just more interesting than the pristine stuff. Okay. All right. And I'm going to put up pictures of the clothing, and you're not going to believe it. People actually buy this shit. I swear to God. The pants don't even look like pants of a laborer. They look like pants of somebody who was on a shipwreck and there were no clothes left and they had to piece together rags and sew them together. That looks like an old, Dickens novel pants. And the sweater, don't get me started on the sweater. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Mr. Lang is a part of a growing community of vintage dealers focusing on the distressed. Many vintage brick and mortar stores carry garments here and there with a healthy patina. They call it a patina. But in recent years, a number of shops with strong Instagram presence have emerged specializing in the field of fades. I have a pretty broad vision of what is acceptable to wear, said Connor Gressett, who hosts a twice annual event called Distressed Fest with Mr. Lang. I'm really into this idea of negative space in clothing, or what a normal person would call holes. Okay. Negative space? You're not calling holes negative space. I'm sorry. You're canceled. Can we cancel this? This is not real. We're living in the friggin' dystopian novel. People are renting, not buying, renting clothes with holes in them. Not like a little, like a holes in the 90s and the 80s jeans. These are literally holes that they called negative space that they made up. All right, I'm getting angry. I'm sorry. It's a style with a complicated history. Okay, so yeah, Mr. Lang says, if the haters are saying this is ridiculous, this is confusing, this thing is beat up, he said, my main response would be, you're right. Mr. Lang sees what he does as recontextualizing garments that are perceived to be at the end of their life. Sustainability is a flex. I hate this guy. He said, adding that many of the clothes he sells would be bound for a landfill otherwise. Still, he said, there is a dark reality where it's like, okay, I'm buying this in its place where it doesn't have value, and I'll bring it to the Lower East Side where some kid in all black will want it. The majority of his in-person clients are designers and stylists, including, he says, the design teams for Yee and Kim Jones, but anyone can make an appointment to drop into his shop. Okay, so he says, it's not just fashionistas who go and who want these kind of clothings. He said they noticed a broad embrace of the style among their customers, who are everything from union metal workers to tattoo artists to investment bankers and Japanese store owners and Italian socialites. Yeah, I don't think union metal workers are spending $1,000 on a torn T-shirt with holes in it or negative space or whatever you call it. I think this article's made up. I think this is crazy. For many, the appeal of an individual item comes from its wear. Always unique and impossible to reproduce. Other people may have that same vintage sweatshirt, but do they have one with this particular stain across the front of it? Plenty of people have Levi's, but they don't have these, which are patched, torn, and speckled with paint. There is just this insatiable hunger for uniqueness, said Avery Truffleman. Okay, some sell this ripped sweatshirt for $1,140. Some feel an intensified desire for the real thing. And as vintage itself has become more popular, those who consider themselves real heads feel a pull towards the more obscure. Okay, in the competitive world of vintage hunting, some of the biggest fanatics don't covet the perfect pair of 501s, but rather a 1930s jacket found in an abandoned mine shaft and tinged with chemicals, also for sale in Mr. Lang's shop. Okay, all right, so now they're cosplaying laborers who probably died in a mine shaft in the 1930s from exposure of chemicals. What's next? Here's an old schmuck from a chemical factory in DuPont in the 1960s, and they died of asbestos inhalation. This is fucking crazy, you guys. Where some cringe at the prospect of decades of dirt and grime on their clothes, others relish it. There's something cool about feeling someone else's skin on you, Mr. Truffleman said. People want to see signs of wear and tear. It's a way of valuing someone else's life and livelihood. Okay, all right. So you're basically saying, oh, I want to feel someone else's labor. I have never labored in my life because I'm spending $1,000 for a sweatshirt. Someone couldn't even afford to buy a new one, and they labored their whole life in this sweatshirt. And I'm going to pay $1,000 so I can cosplay a laborer. I have an idea. Here's my genius idea. All right, the world has gone mad. The planet is burning. People are losing their jobs. I have a suggestion for you, okay? If you really want to cosplay, why don't you just scout out somebody who is a laborer, or maybe recently laid off as a laborer, or you can commission a laborer. How about this? You commission a laborer, you get this guy, let's call him Mickey, let's call him Mick, and a woman, if you're a female, let's call her Jane and Mick, and you say, hey Jane, hey Mick, I know you're both a laborer. Oh, what do you work? You clean apartment offices for a living? Jane, here's the thing, I'm going to give you money. So for the next year and a half or 2 years, however long distress it takes, you have to wear the same outfit every day and don't wash it. and I'm going to pay you $1,000. Yeah, you can curate it. You know what I mean? You can curate your own and cut out the middleman and go straight to the source and give it to the laborer. And they'll be like, this motherfucking idiot spent $1,000. Well, I was cleaning apartments for a year and a half. Yeah, really? I was a mechanic. This asshole's rented my outfit for $2,000 a month. And that's a story I want to see in the New York Times, which I'm sure will happen eventually. The world has gone mad. The planet is burning. People are losing their jobs, their health care, their Medicaid, their Social Security. And these kids, NYU students, are cosplaying laborers in the 1930s. What are you going to do? I know what you're going to do. You're going to like and subscribe. This is our 60th anniversary. That doesn't make any sense. It's our 60th episode. And please like and subscribe if you haven't already, if this is on your algorithm. I have a show coming up this Thursday in Geneva at Flanagan's. You can get tickets on the website at jenkirwin.com. We're going to have a packed crowd. We're going to have a packed lineup. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to wear clothes that are not distressed, but maybe, I don't know. Maybe this is a new thing. I think I'm going to have to go to, that's going to be a new thing. I just came up with this now. I bet you people are going to like fly to like landfills, wherever they are in countries in Africa and Asia, and scout through, landfills of all old clothing and try to get old clothing from America that we donated, that we poured upon poorer countries. And then they're going to fly back, take their first class flights back to the States, to LA or New York, and they're going to sell those clothes for thousands of dollars. That's called the rich eating the rich. Full circle. Anyway, let's move on. Ready? Ready for this one? This is a really good dumb, kind of scary dumb news. Mom left terrified after hearing strangers speak to her son via Wi-Fi baby monitor. So vulnerable. A device meant to ease parents' minds is giving them more to worry about. A panicked mother took to Reddit to share her bone-chilling encounter with an unauthorized user who gained access to their baby monitor and used it to speak to their newborn. That is creepy. The anonymous Redditor claimed she was gifted a cheap Yee-Home Wi-Fi enabled camera from Amazon that detects movement, allows parents to hear and talk through the device, and features timestamps on recordings. Oh my God. The only issue, she noted, was that it wasn't Bluetooth enabled, meaning it needed to be connected to the Wi-Fi and used through the corresponding smartphone app. The mom placed the camera over the baby's crib and mere days ago set her son down to sleep when she went to use the restroom. Of course, he was crying a little bit, so I opened the app and turned on the audio just to keep an eye on him, she explained. As soon as I turned on the audio, I hear a woman's voice go, "Hello?" Oh my God. She recalled being weirded out by the phantom voice and asked her husband if the camera or anything in their child's room talks or makes noise, to which he said no. So I go back upstairs and I'm opening the door to my son's room and I hear the same woman talking to my son through the camera. The mom continued. She said, "Hi, baby, it's okay." I immediately yanked the camera out of the wall and haven't used it since. Holy shit. Could you imagine that? But that was, okay, hold on a second. I got to clean my glasses off. This is scary. Hold on. But that wasn't the first time the mystery woman had spoken to the Redditor's son. Apparently, she had access to the monitor for at least 4 days. According to the mom, her sister, who lives with the couple, heard a woman's voice coming from the child's room, but chalked it up to the television. But the TV had not been installed yet. So I guess what I'm saying is get a Bluetooth camera. Wi-Fi ones are so vulnerable and anyone could get access so easily, the mom warned. The woman more than likely gained access through the app you have to use with the camera. Readers called the encounter creepy, scary, and downright nefarious, inquiring what strangers gain from talking to other people's babies. But this Redditor's experience was not an isolated incident, and as it turns out, baby monitors are scarily easy to hack. Over the years, shaken parents have shared stories of infiltrated cameras and ominous voices speaking to their little ones. Oh my God, this is really scary. According to Consumer Reports, many Wi-Fi-enabled baby monitors have pretty lax security and privacy. Okay, this is a great idea for a horror film. I'm sure, I don't really watch horror films, but this is a super great premise for a horror film. Do you guys believe in ghosts? I don't know. I think it's a ghost. What do you think? I think it might have been a ghost. I think, how can somebody be saying, hey, baby, unless there's two things. It's either a ghost or somebody next door has the same exact baby monitor and it crossed paths. Or it's a ghost. I think it's what are the chances of somebody getting the same exact baby monitor? Pretty slim. And what are the chances it's a ghost? Pretty slim. I don't know. Do you guys believe in ghosts? I believe in ghosts. I saw a ghost once. Well, not a ghost. It was a long time ago. Okay, this is a great story. Gather around, children. This actually is a real thing, and I saw it, and a friend of mine saw it, and an animal saw it. So I'm going to walk you down to South Philly in the mid-90s. South Philly. I was staying over a friend's house. I had just flown back from London. I remember this. I just flown back from London and I surprised her, my friend Bridget, and because she was in a play, and I was like, I'm just going to show up for her play. And then I stayed at her mom's house. Anyway, I'm at her house. We stayed up, went to a diner, had coffee, and just kept, oops, sorry about that. We stayed at a diner all night, as one does to catch up, drinking a lot of coffee. Finally, it's late. I don't know how late it was. It was like midnight, maybe later than that. It was pretty late. We were up late, talking. Just caffeine, nothing else. We consumed nothing else. Bridget is in the bathroom brushing her teeth. I brushed my teeth as well, finished brushing my teeth. I walk into her sister's room where there's a spare bed, and I see above her sister a big ball of light, a huge ball of light suspended over her sister. So I walk back into the bathroom and I say, hey, Britt, there's a big ball of light suspended above your sister. And right at that moment, the alarm goes off. I think, it was 3:00 in the morning. We were up till 3 in the morning. The alarm went off at 3:00 in the morning, and the dog starts barking like crazy. This little tiny dog at nothing above her sister. The dog's looking up above the sister who's lying on the bed and at this big ball of light and barking. Meanwhile, I can't remember if Bridget saw the ball of light or what, but I think she did see the light, but it was so long ago, but that for a fact happened. So what I'm saying is, what are you saying, Jen? What I'm saying is, it could have been a ghost. You know, we're living in weird times. We have aliens, we have orbs. Why can't there be a ball of light hanging above my friend Bridget's sister? And the dog saw it, and the alarm went off. Why did the alarm go off? She didn't need to get up at 3:00 in the morning. She was like, why is the alarm? She didn't even know what was happening. And her sister never saw the big ball of light suspended above her. I saw it, the dog saw it, and I can't remember if Bridget saw it, but that's a true story. And then I had other stories about her sister. Apparently her sister was haunted. Because then she moved out, she got a place with another friend, and her roommate said that her sister was thrown down the flight of stairs in their apartment. They had a duplex. So these are things that happen. So I don't know. I would not get a baby monitor for that reason. Because I would not want to be scared by ghosts. That doesn't even make any sense. Look, these are the end of days, you know what I mean? So, like, hug your children. I would let the child, at this point, sleep in my bedroom with me because I don't trust anything anymore. Anyway, what are you going to do? that's just one ghost story. I have many ghost stories. And it's always surrounded, most of the stories, oh, look, you see, it just got ominous. It just got dark. Do you guys believe in ghosts? If you do, tell me your ghost story. Leave a comment below. Like and subscribe. I do believe in ghosts. I 100% believe in ghosts. I've seen some things. I've seen a few things. I can't remember all the stories because it happened a really long time ago. Another time, I was at my friend Bridget's house. This was in Brooklyn. And I swear to God, I said, Britt, there's a girl looking in your window. She's got she was wearing like a little white bow tie, like a hair tie, like a big bow in her hair and a white dress. And she goes, Jen, you're freaking me out. And I go, look, there's a girl who's looking in your window. It was like at night. And then she looked and the girl was gone. And then she said, what did the girl look like? And I described her. She was like she had like olive skin. She had black hair. She had a white bow. And she goes, Jen, there's a memorial just next, there was a vacant lot just next to her house, a single apartment. And then there was a vacant lot next door. And there was all these long memorial candles and flowers and like little rosemary or Mother of Mary, kind of like, rosemary beads. Anyway, she said a little girl recently was killed just next door. I don't know, it was like an accident. And I think I saw the little girl. Because there wasn't a girl in a white dress with a white thing. I think that's what she wore. Anyway, Bridget swore that that's exactly what she looked like. And I don't know. I didn't see a picture of her, but there was a little girl looking in her window. There was another one. Let's see. Oh, here's another one. This was it again with Bridget. This is weird. This was in San Francisco. We were taking a road trip. She was on the road trip. She didn't have anything to do with it. But I guess when I'm around Bridget, I see ghosts or something. But I swear to God, this was, okay, so it was a bunch of us. And we were, all of us from Philly. And I don't know why, we took a road trip to San Francisco. And we were staying at a friend of a friend's house, this big old wooden A-frame house near the beach. And so there was an attic. And then there was a downstairs. The guys were sleeping upstairs in the attic, and the girls were downstairs. And it was getting dark out, but the guys were, I think, still asleep up in the attic because we did an all-nighter road trip from LA. So what I did was, we were going to go out, and it was dark. It was starting to get dark, and I was supposed to go wake up the guys. So I go upstairs. The lights are out. It's pitch black. And I'm up in the attic, so you can barely see. It's like got a little window, so it's sort of like a street lamps, but it's pretty dark up there. So I'm in the hallway of the upstairs attic. There's like a bookshelf here, and there's like a little passageway, and then like a area where the guys were sleeping on the floor in sleeping bags. So I go up. They're still sleeping. It's pitch black, and I go up, and I swear to fucking God, a breath and a guy's voice, it goes, it swipes right, and I could feel the breath right past my neck. I'm getting goose pimples just talking about it. And I was like, it was my friend Brian and Mike. I go, Mike, silence. They were still sleeping. I fucking ran down the stairs, white as a ghost, but I didn't tell Bridget, who was downstairs. And I said, hey, can you go wake up? Because the ghost was up there. I said, can you go upstairs and wake up Brian and Mike? And she goes, sure. So she just blah, 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 walks upstairs, flicks on the light, and she goes, yo, you guys get up. And then they got up. And I go, did you see anything? Did you feel anything? She goes, no. And I told her what happened. She goes, oh, thanks. So you went and experienced a ghost and then sent me up to, and I said, yeah, but you didn't experience because you were too loud, even for a ghost. A ghost, she's so loud, a ghost is scared of her. That's funny. But that's a true story. That's a true story. And here's what happened. So the guys who were, the friend of the friend who live in the house, they were like, are you kidding me? The person who used to live owned that house, the last owner, hung himself in the freaking attic. I swear to God. True story. And that's why I don't hang out with Bridget anymore. That's not true. She lives so far away. But I'm going to go hang out with her again and see if I see any more ghosts. But have I seen a ghost since in Europe? No. I thought I heard a ghost once. This was at a country, like way in the countryside in France. I was staying in a big old house, and it used to be like a medical. It was like a medical laboratory on the bottom of the house. But then, anyway, the owners long passed away, and I was staying at my in-laws, and it was a big house, a huge house, overlooking like this expansive countryside. And it was late at night, and I was like, I could hear children laughing, and I was like, I'm really scared. I can hear children laughing. And downstairs in the basement, there was like a boiler room. And I just had, in your mind, you create all these scenarios, and you're like, wow, maybe this was like a place where like he was maybe a pediatrician, and maybe like a lot of kids died here, or, you know what I mean? And I made up this whole thing of like, maybe these are the spirits of the kids that are laughing. And then I finally had to like get up, and like, I woke up my husband, and I was like, I'm really scared. And he was like, why? And I was like, I can hear children laughing. And he was like, Jen, that's the sheep. Because at the other house, they had like a sheep farm. And you know how they go, ah, ah, and it sounds like they're laughing. And I was like, oh, I guess the house isn't haunted. He's like, no, go back to sleep.